I can't believe we pulled it off.
For differing values of pulling it off.
That happened.
Oh man.
That happened to all of us.
We want a cast photo?
Yeah.
Cast photo here.
Can we wait? Where's the Dogeman? Just like deep in the back.
He's getting.
Oh no, you said it a third time!
I know. When I saw that he was out of costume, I was like, oh no, we can't say it a third time and have him burst in at the end. Oh my goodness me.
Do you want your cast photo with or without Johnson?
Do you have to say when someone wants to buy?
Andrew? This might be the best thing I've ever bought.
Get in nice and tight.
Oh my god. Oh wow. All right.
That capper line occurred to me 10 seconds before I sat down.
Oh man!
That was fantastic.
How we got there.
I feel like, let me do a little bit of world building here. I feel like the Dogeman shows up and threatens you until you tell him he's a good boy.
Oh no, that's sad. I was so like you could see the silhouette of
That was
something
so
with
scary.
ears at the end of the hallway. And
That was
like,
really
maybe they got a
creepy.
Batman mask, and I was so not prepared.
When did you figure that out?
As we were just getting rolling, we were talking about how are we going to do this. I'm like, okay, meditation hallway instead of murder hallway. That's fine. And then Andre's like, well, do you need a murderer? And it's like, well, yeah. And then he's like, I have an idea. And came up with the mask.
$10 donation from the Dogeman.
We're spreading your mythos.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Everyone said, if you missed it all, don't worry, the VST will have you covered. That should be...
That was
Probably before we
iTunes.
finish this sentence.
Wow.
I also really enjoyed the helicopter where you just see Andrew sliding to the side.
I love that you didn't realize.
Yeah.
What?
Well, it looked like you didn't realize right away.
That you were unshot?
I knew I was in the shot. I just thought you guys were gonna let me get away with it. Because the entire front of it is like polo, so it's almost impossible to see Richter.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna have to get in shot and shoot through the window. And then as soon as you addressed me, I was like, all right, well, I have to fall off.
Time
this
to die.
helicopter now.
Goodbye. What you say?
I did not expect that when Ian's camera went live that I would be full framed on it.
I didn't. Yeah.
So
We didn't see that.
Okay.
Because Ben didn't switch to it until it was turned around on Ian.
But
Nice.
I brought up the audio just in time for you to say, I'm stuck on the rudder.
So good. That was so good.
Oh man.
So, real quick, so normally when we do QWERPline, this will be in the next episode of the Loading Time Digest, sort of seeing behind the scenes of QWERPline. We record for over an hour, and then that gets edited down. And normally, we come in and we have basically nothing. The only things prepared ahead of time. Beej does his sponsor thing. It doesn't tell any of us, obviously. We didn't know what that was going to be.
I do the response to your question.
To your how you doing?
Without telling you.
Yeah, and then I do the town slogan. And that's it. And so before we roll, it'll be like, all right, what are we going to do this episode?
Maybe we need a town disaster?
Yeah, where should Derek be? What is he reporting from? What's the thing community radio does? What are we going to do? We had arts last week, so let's do weather this week then, and we'll have someone call in maybe or something. And, that's about it. And then we just sort of wing it. But for this, we wanted to be a little bit more structured just so you didn't see us sitting around or brr.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe we can.
Well, like I said ahead of time, typically I don't prepare Edith's bits and jokes, but
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to sit here and be trying to think of stuff on the fly, because it's, not as fun. So, but I feel like perhaps the Innsbruck Christmas play being this incredibly bleak thing is something that could come back.
I like the idea that the rat costume they've had for years.
Yeah.
That for the nativity, it's like a camel and a sheep and a giant human-sized rat.
It's probably burlap sack with some pipe cleaners on the end.
Well, raccoon pelts.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that this is the first QWERPline that I've not actually been present for the entirety of, so I don't know what happened in all the other scenes.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I guess, because you were at the room.
Yeah,
Oh.
we did all the remotes, so it's like, well, we'll have to watch the VST later, so thanks VST for capturing that for us. Jeez.
Oh, Beekman's World.
Uh,
That was a heck of a thing. Well, thanks all the viewers for being so patient, because I know you've been asking for that all week.
and we did it.
We did it. I'm very proud of us. 'Cause
We
that-
were snuck nest.
That could have been
no.
way worse. That's because we are all extremely professional improvisers.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
well seasoned.
We
Just the
know
person who brought
exactly
those.
what we're doing at
Yeah.
all times.
I loved. Are you still? Yeah. With the, sorry, your look as Richter was really good. For those who haven't seen, Featherweight has drawn
Yikes.
what he's called Faces of Innsbruck on his Tumblr, which is basically drawing what he figures the characters from QWERPline look like, because it's audio only, and there's some pretty delightful interpretations in there. There was a donation drive that ended during the QWERPline skits.
Who is actually supposed to be on?
That would probably be me.
Oh,
Matt's
yeah.
not here. All right.
If you could draw that, that would be great. This is
Yeah.
for the Boss Monster games.
Gee, I sure hope they wrote things down. Boss monster. Boss monster.
Jared did sweeten the pig with some stuff too.
I'm kind of surprised by the number of Bossmaster references you managed to cram in this Desert Bus.
We sang the whole theme song earlier.
Yeah, okay. That,
On
yeah.
purpose?
On purpose. You don't do that by accident.
Involuntarily.
They wrote it by accident.
Oh.
No dancing.
Good.
I did a little bit of cromwell dance when I came in, but come on,
That's
give me a
about
break
it.
here. Give me a break.
She had a kid.
We've discussed it.
I'm a sip for
That was really good, Graham.
Completed the
Thank
ultimate
you.
I'm
graphic
proud
For
of
you,
us.
yeah, I'm proud of
I'm
us
just
too.
gonna
I
stay in
like
this
that you're.
comfortable seat until I can
Yeah, do that. What was it? Samuel Beckett's
end game.
Endgame.
Now I have to admit,
Your description of it was. Just.
yeah, no,
I love how dry Edith is. Someone in the chat actually, this is kind of funny. They were like, I feel like that doesn't Edith usually sound deeper than
She
Catherine's
does.
voice? And it's true, because the way we do it, there's only 5 of us, and Ian Beach and Kathleen do the majority of the other characters. So we pitch the voices up and down, and I kind of like that. Like, obviously, we know a lot of people, and maybe we'll have a guest from time to time, but I think it works better to have a small sort of core than just a massive group of actors for it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it keeps things a little bit more focused.
well, typically when we're doing QWERPline, basically everybody was responsible for coming up with their own bits and stuff like that. But QWERPline is a very collaborative process between all 5 of us as well, right? Like there's lots of Ian and Beej and Alex and Graham all suggest like bits for will all suggest jokes for the bits I do, and vice versa and stuff like that, right? So it's everybody working together to make a finished product.
That was how. That was part of what made this particular recording so weird. Is,
Yes,
oh,
it's-
I kind of have a joke here. I'm also in a hallway.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, normally it's like, it'd be funny if because like when we do the recording, you'll see this in the loading time. It's like, oh, that was really funny, but it would be even funnier if you would add this, and then and then we'll do it again and stuff like that, and make sure it's like really like ace. But
I strongly headcanon, this is from the chat, that everything Edith owns has shoulder pads.
that's probably fine.
I like that, yeah.
But the only thing consistent is every time that G Star asks Edith if there's anything else in the air, it's just a short pause and then no.
Which can't be true.
No. Now to be fair, I have to admit I'm not that much of a theater person. I had to. I sent a text when I came up with the idea for this joke to my friend Adam, and I was like, Adam, I need you to give me the bleakest plays you can think of, and so I read the plot synopsises for about 4 or 5 of them, and Endgame was the simplest and had the least characters. So I was like, perfect. So I'm not that good. I'm not like a big Samuel Beckett fan, and I know all of the...
Wart Jr., because I was talking about pitching voices up and down, Wart Jr. in the chat was asking, so Beej's voice is pitched up for Derek, right?
No.
Beej?
You know what surprises me? Is the number of people who are shocked to hear that Beach is Derek.
That's the only one that we get asked
What?
about. That's the only one that people are like, I get everyone else, who does Derek?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody did ask.
I don't understand that.
Well, we know, right?
Somebody asked if Richter was Jer, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, Jer's not even in the credits for this.
Yeah.
So that's, but
He's not even in the country.
yeah, he's in a completely different country.
That's true. Richter's voice isn't actually pitched at all. It just has the filter on it.
I'm just leaning away from the microphone and yelling at you through filtered sounds.
Yeah, well, you're just sort of, you do the talking like this as if it's through a radio, and then we put a phone filter on it.
Well, hey, we got a draw that we need to do here.
Yeah, do it up.
Before we start talking. You know who won that video games game once?
Who won it?
It was... Breakfast time!
Breakfast time!
And we're going to find out how much that donation raised. Was $1,838.16.
Yay!
So breakfast time, please get yourself in touch with prize at desertbus.org to give us your deets. And we'll get that sent out to you toot sweet.
Someone in the chat was saying that they thought that QWERPline was heavily edited.
It is.
And
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is improv and edited. So we improv all the bits, and then Graham
We cut out the parts where it
cuts
doesn't
the
work.
bad parts.
Yeah.
It's both.
Well, plus there's all like the sound effects and stuff like that.
I mean, so yeah, we usually call it an organic writing process. Because if we say improv, people think that we just press record and do 15 perfect minutes of improv.
Wow.
And then,
That would
God,
be,
that would be so much faster.
I know, right?
We could do like 4 shows in a day.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's never do 4 shows in a day.
No,
I mean,
it's
a lot of
actually
it-
exhausting to
I was
record.
going to say, it is really tiring to
Improv
do
to tape.
to do a QWERPline. Like, we do 2 episodes per sitting, and by the time we're done, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way we could do 3. Because it's not just, oh, that would be funny, you should say that. It's just like a lot, like, it requires mental focus.
Half of it is just churning ideas and stuff to say and whatever. The other half is completely breaking whenever somebody says something just so perfect.
Yeah, there's us like going nuts. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like retakes.
Oh yeah.
Of like stumbling on a line like 6 times.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Storm
And
has a
just,
question.
Like, generally talking about ideas or like reworking ideas or recording something, being like, wait, that doesn't work. We need to do something else.
Yeah.
So Dan Storm brings up a good question, which is, why do you, if it's edited, why do you leave the laughter in the final cut? And there's a couple reasons for that. One, I really like giving, because so much of the show is so tightly edited, I like giving the listener a chance to laugh. To breathe. Like, it's not like a laugh track, like, this is when the joke is, you should be laughing now because there is laughter. It's really just like, so that you can laugh. And also, to a certain extent, the origins of QWERPline was Desert Bus and us cracking ourselves up, and I really like retaining that sort of energy that we are actually cracking ourselves up while we do this. But what I also really like about it, which is something, I wish he was here actually, because I was speaking with Molly and Ben about it, and Molly made it really succinct, was it also kind of like reminds you that we're making it up as we go, that it's like, it really drives home that it's not just a scripted thing.
So if you were just reading it out, it would have a much different feel, I think.
It's kind of like when SNL sometimes like
when they break on
recording
SNL.
live, they break a little bit every once in a while, and it's really funny when they do.
And it's hard to do that in audio because if you see an actor on screen about to break and they're holding it together and the audience is just going,
Yeah.
they just get churned more and more and more,
Yeah.
and they're like, no, I'm going to hold it together and get through this, and that's funny in its own right. But it's like we don't have the chance to do that, so having us crack every so often is actually a nice thing, I think, too.
To a certain degree, also, I feel like comedians are never funnier than when they're trying to crack up other comedians.
Yep,
There's nothing better than that.
That's
Oh,
it feels so good when we're recording QWERPline if we can make the other people laugh.
Yeah.
It's like we're sharing, you know? It's like they really enjoyed this too.
Actually, an improv game that I had in like a class when I was in high school was to like you start out with two people and you try and make the other person laugh, just like in a scene. And we based it off of who were the two British actors that were in
Fried Laurie?
No, but they were similar to that. But they would always do skits on stage, and one would just like be perfectly just in it, and then the other one was just so like in hysterics.
Tim Conway and Harvey Korman on the Carol Burnett Show.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, laughter is kind of like this instant, sort of unambiguous feedback that lets you know you have been successful, which is maybe kind of why we like it so much. It's just like, got it, okay, that worked.
The crazy part about the Carol Burnett Show is that it would air twice, like several hours apart on the same night, live both times. And so the actors would do it, and then they'd do it once, like later at night, and the later at night one would be a little more ribald, and they would be really trying to make each other mess up, which led to some really funny bits.
Yeah, they did that once with 30 Rock, didn't they, as well?
Yeah.
They did a couple live 30 Rocks, I think.
And ER, that was
Oh,
hilarious.
right, yeah, the live 30 Rock, they did an East Coast and West
West
Coast
Coast,
one.
yes.
And so, like, when they did one of the ones on it was the West Coast one, they did, like, they did live, it was the NFL draft.
Yes.
And so they did a musical number that only happened on the West Coast one that was, like, singing about the, like, first round draft picks or something. What happened to Muriel, the old wife? Maybe she'll show up. Who knows?
Who can say?
We have plans.
There's a lot of questions that we get, like, wait, what about this thing? What about this thing? And it's like,
We don't have a plan,
maybe it'll show up again.
but we have a plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depends
Yeah.
on what the wiki is.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
maybe we'll do a callback. Maybe it'll be like way later and people will be like, really?
Yeah.
It is improv, but we are paying attention to what we say.
Yeah, no, with improv, but we kind of like forced ourselves into continuity, which actually I think is the best thing ever. Like, I'm really happy that there's continuity to QWERPline. It means there's real consequences for all this stupidity.